Our world is filled with plenty of strange and unexplainable mysteries that can lead even the most dedicated communities into a wild goose chase with seemingly no end. However, sometimes when a community unites, it can uncover incredible secrets and discover connections previously never made before. This appears to be the case in regards to the popular forum community known as Reddit, that invites people of many different backgrounds to find and share common interests in their own specific categories. These forums have allowed them to work together on a variety of topics and even make breakthrough discoveries regarding these strange and unexplainable mysteries. So today, we'll be going over 5 mysteries that were solved by Reddit. The modified extension cord. There is possibly nothing more frightening than the realization that everything that you have been doing in the privacy of your own home has been actively recorded and transmitted to a company in a different country spying on you for their own nefarious intentions. This nightmarish possibility turned out to be more than just a reality for a Reddit user who seemed concerned about a discovery he had made. The Redditor's username was ShadyBusiness15, which made the situation all the more ironic when he discovered that one of his extension cords that he had purchased from an overseas company for a low-cost deal had opened up due to an electrical explosion. When he looked over the extension cord in the hopes of figuring out what went wrong, he made a shocking discovery and found that inside the extension cord was a SIM card with a serial number on it. He was not sure if such a device was commonplace in the types of cords he bought, so he quickly went onto Reddit and posted a picture of the device for everyone to see, while also asking for help in identifying what it could be and the reasons for why it would be attached inside the cord. Almost within the same hour, many Redditors wrote to the user that not only was this a modified SIM card placed inside the extension cord, but that it also seemed to have a small microphone attached that was recording and transmitting everything that was being heard by the device. ShadyBusiness15 quickly traced the serial number of the SIM card and discovered that it was connected to a voicemail. By the time the Reddit user had the number and called the voicemail, however, the number had already been disconnected, almost as if someone had listened in and acted in haste. Immediately after making this discovery, the Reddit user quickly contacted the manufacturer of the device, inquiring as to what was recorded and what the purpose of the device even was in the first place. He was terrified to hear the manufacturer's representative yelling at him, threatening him, and then stating that if he wanted to know what had been recorded, then he would need to get a warrant. The Box of Ezekial. Back in 2013, a Redditor that went by the username of TramStopDan was passing by a trash bin and noticed a strange wooden suitcase sticking out noticeably in the bin. Intrigued by this peculiar find, he quickly pulled the wooden suitcase out of the trash and began digging through its contents to uncover anything important that had been tossed. He realized that the old wooden suitcase appeared to be filled with hand-drawn maps with incredible detail, drawings of mechanical devices, strange images of what appeared to be an extraterrestrial event, and pages of writings that talked about a possible government conspiracy, cover-up, and alien sighting. The Redditor spent a few days poring over these pieces on his own before posting his findings to the site in the hopes of finding others who could help to explain what he had found and what all of it meant. It did not take long for the community to respond and each make their own connections to the work to realize its purpose. It became known that the writings were making references to an old biblical story known as the Book of Ezekiel. The contents of the suitcase appeared to be a brand new conspiracy theory made by one person who was obsessed with this biblical book and believed the events of the story to have been that of an alien encounter. Though this secret held no government cover-up or proof of the extraterrestrial event, it was an impressive amount of work and dedication that most can look at and appreciate in its own special way. The strange sounds of Forest Grove, Oregon. Back in February of 2016, the lowly populated town of Forest Grove, located in the northwest state of Oregon, began to encounter an incredibly strange phenomenon that helped to put the small quaint town on the map, after residents began complaining of a mysterious sound heard throughout the town that became a viral mystery on the internet. Many residents and witnesses described the sound as being eerily similar to that of a large mechanical screeching, similar to that of a train attempting to stop, or metal sliding against metal. The first thing that was noted about this was that the sound was definitely artificial. There was just no possible way the noise could have come from any type of natural occurrence or variation of wildlife. The first posited theories from Redditors was the most obvious. A physicist by the name of 70 Camero believed originally that it could have been noise made from a gas line vibrating, but quickly realized it would not have been able to produce such a high frequency and travel over great distances. Others believed that it could have been a harmonic frequency generated from a power load, perhaps an electrical transformer that was producing the sound due to the current changing in the wires. This was immediately dismissed as further investigative efforts made by police and firefighters discovered that the sound was originating outside of the town and coming from the dense mountainside forests. Redditors then began using recordings of the sound from different areas in the town to mathematically pinpoint the origin of the sound, and was only a few hours away from accurately mapping this origin point. Unfortunately, and rather strangely, the noise stopped and never returned. It appeared that whoever or whatever was responsible was aware that it was only a few moments away from being discovered, and so finished their work or stopped the noise altogether. Though this strange mystery was never fully solved, the cataloguing of the event and possible explanations were supported by Reddit in full detail, and a tremendous amount of legwork for the investigation was done by many different Reddit users and shared theories. The threads are still across the website, and the teams to this day still spend free time attempting to understand the cause of such an eerie and terrifying noise and what it could have been. Laquon Cenotes. What would you do if you received a strange package in the mail that was from a secret group of people attempting to play a dark and creepy game? Even though this question might sound like something from a 90s horror movie, it turned out to be reality for several randomly selected individuals. After a Redditor received a random package in the mail filled with an odd-looking CD case that many described as almost demonic in origin, the Reddit investigation teams went on a wild goose chase hunt, attempting to figure out the mystery of why it was made, what its message was, and the creator behind this strange, unending game. As they pored over the audio and decoded messages, even more puzzling clues came to surface. Some were hidden messages that begged for help or told listeners to call a random number. Probably the most frightening clues were the coordinates of abandoned factories that, when further investigated, held hidden VHS tapes with several more puzzles and disturbing images. As people obsessed over the game, it became apparent who its creator was and its purpose. It turned out that the dedicated Redditors matched a lot of the content to an artist known as Laquon Cenotes, who devised the entire game as a marketing ploy. Interestingly enough, the game is still ongoing, and there are still dedicated Redditors eagerly trying to uncover all the clues and beat the game once and for all. The Stonehenge of Reddit. Back in 2011, plenty of Reddit users began noticing odd behaviour that seemed to be coming from a possible underground organisation when they came across a mysterious thread on the Reddit website. Known as r/a85-, Redditors noticed that some mysterious user was dumping an insane amount of text that many people speculated to be code onto the thread that seemed to be completely random and served no real purpose. As many different users attempted to explain this strange thread, every single person ran into dead ends, which ultimately led people to believe that perhaps the random text was nothing more than some troll with too much free time and was merely trying to lead people on a random goose chase with absurd gibberish that held no real meaning. This led a popular user who was at the head of the organised efforts to decode these strange messages to leave the comment on the thread that stated that the mysterious thread was nothing more than just a Stonehenge of Reddit that will possibly never be understood. Coincidentally, after this statement, a user decoded the latest information dump and found it to be a code for a random ASCII text that showed an image of the Stonehenge. Many people interpreted this as a direct message from those involved in the creation of the mysterious thread, and an acknowledgement of those investigating. This action sparked a full investigative effort, but to this day, nothing concrete has been uncovered. But what do you think of these strange mysteries and the explanations offered by Reddit? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.